Welcome to the first step in mastering product management. We started this program by talking about how great PMs know how to work in a high-leverage way. One of the ways they create leverage is by deeply understanding their product strategy and aligning their product work to their product strategy. The challenge most PMs face with product strategy is that they have only a surface-level or incomplete understanding of product strategy, limiting their ability to create leverage. Just like looking at an iceberg, they see the surface and view it as a complete picture. However, they often miss the additional depth that's hidden beneath the surface, which would fundamentally alter their understanding. As a result, PMs might work on products or features that don't actually align with the product strategy. This then leads to poor product outcomes. Let's consider the case of Evernote. Evernote is a note-taking app that allows you to capture and organize your thoughts. Evernote's core strategy was to build a multi-platform app that makes note capturing as fast and easy as possible. They grew primarily via creating apps for emerging hardware platforms and app stores in a way that took advantage of each platform's unique capabilities. To illustrate this, consider how Evernote's biggest growth moment came in 2008 with their iOS Evernote app. Their app used the iPhone's unique audio recording and camera features to help their users capture audio and photo notes faster than ever before. The iOS app was deeply aligned with Evernote's core value proposition of fast note capture across multiple platforms and was a resounding success. However, Evernote has also launched several products that didn't actually align with this core strategy and thus ultimately failed. The most notable one is Evernote Hello, a contact management app designed to replace the default contacts app on the phone. The idea was to snap a picture of a person's business card when you met them, enabling you to store important and relevant information within Evernote. On the surface, the idea was aligned to Evernote's strategy, being able to capture notes across multiple platforms. However, at the time, Evernote Hello completely missed the nuance behind the note capture strategy. It needed to not only capture notes across multiple platforms, but also make the note capturing fundamentally faster and easier. The problem was that the initial version of Evernote Hello didn't actually make information capture faster. In the first public release of the product, there was no optical character recognition, OCR, that converted the business card into structured contact data. In fact, you still had to manually enter the person's first and last name. As a result, Evernote Hello was misaligned with Evernote's deep product strategy and experienced significant adoption problems. Evernote Hello realized their mistake and eventually relaunched with these features, but by then it was too little too late. Ultimately, Evernote chose to shutter the product in February 2015. To escape the problems of a surface-level understanding, great PMs develop a deep understanding of their product strategy. This means they understand the additional detail and nuance underlying the surface-level appearance of their strategy. This gives them leverage in two ways: knowing which features to modify or avoid, and knowing which features to heavily invest in. Let's talk through each. First, deep understanding of product strategy creates leverage by determining which features to modify or avoid. Using the iceberg analogy, if you are able to see the full iceberg, you can effectively steer away from crashing into the otherwise hidden underwater ice. If you are able to fully understand your product strategy's nuance, you can avoid inadvertently conflicting with your strategy. Had the Evernote Hello team recognized the nuanced importance of fast capture, they may have avoided an unsuccessful product. Conversely, deep understanding of product strategy also creates leverage by helping you identify what features do fully align with your strategy and will generate needle-moving product returns if you invest in them. There's a famous quote from department store mogul John Wanamaker, where he says, "Half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The trouble is, I don't know which half." The same thing is often true for features on a roadmap. PMs often aren't sure ahead of time which features are going to have a big needle-moving impact and which will only create a small incremental impact. PMs strive to find ways to create big needle-moving impact because that tends to yield exponentially better product outcomes than a series of small incremental improvements. Having a deep understanding of product strategy helps you better identify which features will be needle-moving ahead of time. This in turn allows you to appropriately invest in them and spend less energy on features that only create small, incremental impact. For example, take the case of Evernote's Scannable. Scannable was an app that could convert paper documents into readable, structured images. Scannable completely replaced the need for a flatbed scanner because you could now use your camera to scan a document, and Evernote would effortlessly clean it up. Released for the iOS mobile app store, Scannable leveraged the unique platform capabilities of the iPhone and doubled down on the core product strategy of making note capture fast and easy. In other words, Scannable fully aligned with Evernote's strategy, both at a surface and at a deep level. As a result, Scannable was one of Evernote's most successful products outside its core note-taking app, winning significant user growth and retention. In retrospect, the Evernote team recognized that Scannable aligned well with their product strategy. This is in contrast to Evernote Hello, which was not aligned to product strategy. Had the Evernote team known this ahead of time, they could have created a much more efficient product roadmap. They would have invested more in Scannable and put less in Hello. In this module, we'll walk through how to take your understanding of product strategy from surface level to deep, using the Reforge Product Strategy Map. The Reforge Product Strategy Map breaks down into 6 distinct dimensions. These 6 dimensions are target audience, the narrowest relevant set of users for your product; problem you're solving, the specific issue you're solving for your users; value proposition, the specific benefits or value you provide to your users to solve their problem; strategic differentiation, the unique attribute your company has that makes it 10 times more compelling than the leading alternatives; channel strategy, the channels you chose to use to acquire users and how you build your product to promote acquisition from those channels; and monetization strategy, your business model and how you build your product to drive monetization. We've tracked each of these 6 dimensions on the Reforge Product Strategy Map. In each of the following lessons, we'll cover one dimension of the product strategy map in depth. In the process of filling out this product strategy map, you'll gain 2 key benefits. First, you'll take your understanding of that dimension of product strategy from surface to deep. This enables you to better identify needle-moving initiatives. Secondly, you'll document your thinking process in a shareable artifact. This helps you better communicate your product strategy to others later on. Let's begin.